Okay, let's talk about TSA backups this morning. Our Kristen McFarland, she was at the airport.
Yeah.
John Glenn. The lines look bad, especially like in her 5 a.m. hit.
Yeah, and then they calmed down pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But that 5 a.m., which is, kind of typical for the airport there. I mean, it did seem longer than usual. But, Columbus, as we've talked about, is arguably a very early morning departure airport. When you see that
all the flights are in the morning.
All those flights leave at like 6 a.m. So there was that line, especially at, she was standing at Concourse B, which is like American United. And at that point, it looked like the line had stretched all the way out to like the ticket counters.
Mm-hmm.
So I know people I was kind of scrolling through social media on Reddit, and somebody posted in the Columbus Reddit page from this morning that they stood in line for about 45 minutes at the Sea Gates, which is Southwest.
That's pretty long. That's long for Columbus.
That's a while. Nowhere near the like 3 and 4 hours that we're talking in like Atlanta and Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
It's still inconvenient. But Kristen did talk with a few travelers this morning when she got there in that first initial rush. And this is kind of what they had to say about it.
Your initial reaction, did you think it was going to be like this?
I was hoping it wasn't, but I'm not completely surprised.
We still have like an hour, and like I said, I've never been stuck here too long, but hopefully they give us our money back if it takes too long.
Buy that insurance on your ticket.
Yeah.
I do it every single time.
Really?
Yes, because of everything that's happened since like 2020.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you never know. You might as well just have the insurance on it.
Yeah. So are you a person who gets to the airport early?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Like an hour. It depends what
Yeah.
airport, because we talked
does.
about like the Dayton airport, super
Walk
easy.
right on through.
The Cleveland airport really is never bad either. And the Columbus one, a breeze.
Yeah, I am firmly the person who plays chicken with my flights.
Yeah.
Which it's going to bite me one day. I know that, but I'm not getting there 90
Well,
minutes to 2 hours beforehand.
I know that is way too long. I don't like sitting into the gates, but we know all of this is happening because of the partial government shutdown. And TSA workers, they are not coming into work because they are not getting paid right now.
Right.
And a lot of them, they cannot afford it. They have children, they have families they're providing for, and they don't have the time to come into work and not get paid. And we actually spoke to a TSA agent here in Columbus about what this experience has been like for her. It's been tough.
It takes a toll, especially not getting paid, and you're wondering in the back of our minds while we're working, how are we going to feed our kids? How are we going to pay our bills? But in the moment, we're like, all right, we got to do our job.
Yeah, she goes on to say just groceries are expensive. Everything adds up, and she has children, and she can't. She needs money.
There is a pride that she also talked about because her mom was also a TSA agent for like 20 years. So, I mean, her mom's basically been one since TSA became a thing. But yeah, it's one of those things that, this is people's livelihoods that we're talking about here. And, but yeah, so what, as of this week, like 400 TSA agents nationwide have quit, and call outs are becoming more and more common. And that is where we get to how the government's temporarily trying to fix this, which is by sending immigration and customs enforcement officers in.
Right. And we actually have a map that CBS News just put out. These are all of the airports right now that have ICE agents. You can see Phoenix,
Cleveland and Pittsburgh are really
I
our
need my
closest.
glasses.
Yeah.
Lord help me this
They're
morning.
mainly the largest ones. So we're talking, like
Philadelphia. All those like major
Houston,
ones.
Chicago.
You can see that screen better
Newark,
than me.
I can. I was like, it's right in front of me. So it's all the three, New York airports. Philadelphia, Pittsburgh is the one that's kind of surprising. I don't remember. Pittsburgh doesn't seem that busy anymore since US Air went away. But
Chicago,
it is a new terminal. But anyway,
so
the big question though, when you're standing in all of these lines, what happens if you do miss your flight? Well, there is a law that protects what happens if you miss a flight due to the airline's problem. This is not an airline problem. So that law does not protect you here. The airline, it's going airline by airline. If you miss your flight due to these long TSA lines, some of them are offering you reschedules. Others are saying, too bad.
And I know. And it's so important to download that app on your phone with your airlines. But Columbus does have a resource, the flycolumbus.com website. We actually have it there it is, and you can check out the wait times at the TSA checkpoint. So I think this is a really cool resource.
It is. And if you've got one of those flights that leaves in the late morning, early afternoon, you're golden. Like you're
gonna breeze through that. Absolutely.
You will never wait.
But you can see that red was for again my eyesight. 6 they thank you, Zenobia. I'm like, I cannot see that monitor, and I just went to the eye doctor.
You got new glasses.
I did. Yeah, it's a little blurry. But anyway, so check that before you head out to the airport today or tomorrow as this partial government shutdown continues. All of this happening in D.C., Democrats, Republicans, they cannot agree. The Republicans want the Save America Act passed, which is enforcing IDs and proof of citizenship when heading to the polls. Here in Ohio, we're not really impacted by that because we already have to show our ID to vote. But it would be that proof of citizenship, which would be the key difference there. But the Democrats are saying we're not passing any of this. We want to see changes with immigration enforcement, and they are not meeting in the middle, and it's putting travelers, and TSA agents stuck in the middle.
And this has now gone on for almost more than a month
at
this point.
So So, and then we just got a new Department of Homeland Security Secretary.
Mark Wayne Mullen out of Oklahoma.
He's a senator in Oklahoma. So lot's going in DC, a lot's happening in DC, and it's affecting people all over the country and here in Ohio.
And TSA, the union that represents these agents, not happy with the decision to send in ICE agents.
No.
Basically saying, okay, you've got money to do this, but you should pay us instead of sending people who aren't trained in our job to do this. Basically saying, come to an agreement, make sure we're paid.
And
otherwise it's going to get worse.
I do love that TSA agent that we spoke to, how she said this is pride for her. She has a lot of pride in what she does, keeping people safe traveling through the airport. And it's just not, it's upsetting, that they just can't get it figured out to get them paid.